personalizado,
E
flexível.
novamente, quem quiser, vai ser em inglês, então quem quiser headphone, headset, tem aqui ao lado do palco, à direita, porque todo o conteúdo vai ser em inglês. Obrigado, gente.
Opa, tô conseguindo ouvir aí? Opa, legal. Bom dia para vocês. Meu nome é Guilherme. Eu tô aqui com o Jared e o Peter. Eles são os fundadores do Time Flash. Eles vieram de Nova York para lançar. Hoje é a divulgação oficial do Time Flash. Até então ele só foi usado em algumas universidades nos Estados Unidos, que nem no começo do Facebook, só que fechado. Então, se era alguém fora do college ou da universidade, ele não conseguia entrar. O Peter Cash, ele foi professor na Wharton School, a escola de negócios da Pensilvânia, durante 20 anos. Já levantou mais de $1 bilhão em investimentos, a maioria relacionada à cura de câncer e indústria farmacêutica, mas também tecnologia e muitos outros setores. E o Jared, ele faz 3 cursos de faculdade ao mesmo tempo, publicidade, antropologia e cinema. E ele vai contar como que ele teve essa ideia. Mas um resumo é assim, uma forma de você pegar um momento da sua vida e mandar esse momento para o futuro. Então é como se vocês baixassem um app agora e falassem, pô, o que esse cara maluco está falando aí? E mandassem uma mensagem para ver daqui 10 anos. E aí daqui 10 anos vocês vão ver o que aconteceu com o Time Flash e vão falar, pô, isso é legal, não é? Como que o mundo vai estar? Porque é impossível prever como o mundo vai estar. E eles vão dizer como que eles chegaram até o Time Flash. Isso é muito legal, porque as pessoas que estão velhas hoje podem deixar mensagem para descendentes, bisnetos ou tataranetos, que talvez não encontrem no mundo físico. Então eu vou passar para eles. Eu espero que vocês gostem aí. Baixem o app e compartilhem com os amigos. Obrigado. No, it's off. Peter, take this one. Take this one, Peter.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? Fantastic. I'm sorry I can't do the talk in Portuguese. I wish I could. It's great to be back in Brazil. I've been coming here now for 20 years. Love the country, love the people, and what Jared and I want to share with you today is to talk about the future is now. And actually, Brazil is the #1 social media market in the world, and that's why we're here today. We're going to talk about how entertainment, business, and technology evolved. Jared?
Hello? There we go. Perfect. Yeah, so very excited, and we'll jump into it right now.
Believe it. How's this? Okay. It's okay. This is why we're doing a technology show. It's on technology. This is the first social media post 30,000 years ago. These are in caves found in France, and every human likes to express him or herself. So 30,000 years ago, this was the first form of social media. And we're going to go 30,000 years into the future.
And this, of course, is the first form of sexting. Because as we all know, not only do we use social media to express our thoughts, but also ourselves.
And what I wanted to show here is 2 very important pictures. In 1439, the Gutenberg press is considered by most people to be the most important invention in the world ever. Why? Because it allowed the mass population to get information. It's the first form of mass communication. And if you go 550 years into the future, we get the iPhone and the Android and smartphones where in 1 second, billions of people can get information. And this is the beauty of technology and social media.
And here we have the first photograph of a human. As you can see in the bottom right corner, my left corner, there's a man getting his shoe cleaned in France in 1838. And the reason why no one else is captured in the photo is because they're moving too fast. The technology back then was not able to pick up on that speed.
Go back one. Okay. This is the first picture of pao de aqua, sugarloaf. Now, can you imagine the first time that someone was able to take a picture of something very famous in Brazil and share it with their family and their friends? And what I wanted to express here is that now anyone with social media with their iPhone, everyone is a professional photographer. You can capture any moment today, and now you can share it in the future. Again, in 1839, 1840, this is the first camera, and less than 10 people in the entire world were able to take a picture at that time. I want to share with you some very quick slides. In the 1930s, there were 1 billion photos a year taken around the world. 1 billion. In 1960, by the way, I was born in 1961. I don't think my parents took a lot of pictures of me, though. There were 3 billion photos each year. 55% of all photos are from children and babies. Very interesting statistic. 1970, 10 billion photos a year. 40 years earlier, a 1,000% increase. 1980, 25 billion. 1990, 57 billion photos a year. It's amazing. Year 2000, we went up to 86 billion. Jared, one more. 2015, 1 trillion photos taken around the world from everybody, because everybody is a professional photographer and recorder of history. Also, what I want to share here is on the left is the first television, and this is the first computer. Now everybody has the same computing power in their iPhone or Android right now in their pocket. It's amazing that this has as much power as that and even more. What I wanted to show here is the mass communication of media with iMacs and the iPad. Jared, we can go to the next slide. And this is the first telephone in use. It is amazing what has been accomplished in the last 100 years, the last 50 years, and what's going to be in the next 25 to 50 years.
And as we know, not only are these phones so powerful, but the apps on them are even more powerful. In the first week of 2015, Apple's App Store earned $500 million the first week of 2015. And it all started with the social media revolution. Of course, with Facebook in 2004, where it started at Harvard to Stanford, and now is at 1.3 billion monthly active users. So really quick, over the next 10 slides, I'm going to go over the top 10 apps in the world right now. The second is Twitter, which of course not only connects friends, but also celebrities, politicians, and athletes. Twitter has more followers than countries, that the entire populations of Germany, South Africa, Austria, and Italy all combined. Vine, which is the video sharing app, has been acquired for $30 million and is one of the top 10 apps, having reached over 40 million users. Snapchat, as we all know, has the potential to be even larger than Facebook with the amount of users they have, where they were offered $5 billion to be acquired and refused. And one of the main things that you can learn from Snapchat is that 70% of their users are women, which is why it's very important for apps, new startups, to know their target audience. How many of you today or this week have taken selfies? A few of you. As you all know, social media is shaping the way that culture is today, and most notably is with selfies. On Instagram, there are 57 million selfies this year alone. Tumblr, on the other hand, is more about blog-relating social media. And they were acquired by Yahoo for $1 billion. The next is Pinterest. Pinterest, of course, is also a blog-related social media network. But what they do is they have a pinning platform that has been extremely successful in retaining users' attention. As opposed to Facebook, which only has users' attention for 12 minutes, on Pinterest, they have over 15 minutes usually with users going online. And this, of course, is so important when selling products with brands. LinkedIn, as opposed to other social media, focuses on professional networking as opposed to friendship. And in the United States, 98% of people's first job was from going on LinkedIn and connecting with different companies. Tinder, which I'm sure is popular here in Brazil as well, is the fastest dating app in the entire world right now, making 15 million matches every single day.
That's 15 million dates every single day. Unfortunately, they didn't have this when I was growing up.
Lastly, we have WhatsApp, which is huge in Brazil and most of the world, having 430 million monthly active users. And they were acquired by the largest price tag of $19 billion by Facebook this past year. The largest acquisition out of any social media startup.
And people ask, why are we in Brazil? And as I shared with you earlier, if you look at the demographics right now in Brazil, 33 million people are between the ages of 15 and 24. So social media is known in Brazil and known throughout the world to be the first adopters of any new social media. In the United States, on a percentage basis, the youth is slightly less, but what we're hoping to do with Time Flash is to penetrate early spread throughout the world. So actually, Brazil is the first country that we're launching the app Time Flash that Jarrett will share in a moment.
So Time Flash, which is why Peter and I have gotten so well versed in the social media industry, is the first app that lets you send a message into the future, where you can take a photo and a video, select any friends, whether it's a group or one individual, and select a date in the future. So right now, actually, on the next slide.
You want to do it? Okay, I'll take it over. So if you look at Time Flash, what can you use it for? There's many use cases that people are already starting to use it. Number one is imagine for a second your first soccer game. You guys play soccer here in Brazil, right? Imagine the first soccer game, your father or mother took a picture or video of the first time you score a goal. Imagine capturing that moment when you're 5 or 6 and then sending it into the future, opening up when you're 21 years of age. That is what Time Flash is all about, capturing moments and sending it into the future like a time capsule. You could do it for babies' first steps, for weddings, and obviously for the demographic 18 to 25. I think in Brazil you guys party a little bit. There's something called Carnival coming up. There's no partying here? Is to capture those moments during a fiesta, during a party, and actually sending it maybe the next day. It doesn't have to be 10 years from now. Just capturing that moment, maybe to share it even the next day. And lastly, for couples, imagine the first time you ever kissed a man or a woman and capturing that moment and sending it 50 years into the future. How wild would that be? So you can use Time Flash for many different use cases.
So right now, actually, I'd like to make a Time Flash with you guys. So let me just take out my phone real quick. So that, of course, is the first step, on most apps. Simple, where you could take a photo or video and capture that awesome moment. So let's say here at Campus Party, you could capture this moment this week, this moment to relive, a week from now, a month from now. And what happens is after you select that date in the future, it turns into a puzzle that is shuffled, right? Where it teases whether you send it to your friends that don't know exactly where you are. Oh, what party did you go to last night?
Jared, it's really creating anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. And you could tease the other person. And of course, the countdown, which is that exact date that people then have it open, right? Where they don't actually get to see what it fully is inside, and there's a conversation that goes on around it.
In fact, you can custom make exactly what date, what hour, what minute you want that time flash to open in the future. You could either do it daily, weekly, or monthly, or the exact custom date that you want.
For example, if you wanted to send it to a friend's birthday and open it up right at midnight when they're celebrating, in America, the 21st birthday is a big deal. And you could share, once again, with one friend as a direct message or a group of friends, and you could even have a public capsule where you could have a profile just like Instagram and build followers. And the last step, of course, is reliving that moment, right? Where you get to remember that fun, remember that life-changing experience.
Okay, so this is what time flash looks like. Jared, does the thing... Okay, when you get a time capsule, this is the jigsaw puzzle that it would look like. Are they going to be able to activate it?
I think so.
Hopefully they'll be able to activate it in 1 second. And these individual pixels move around about, and every time you do a time flash shuffle, there we go, the whole picture and image moves around to make it engaging. So you can try to guess, the receiver can try to guess what you sent them. And after so many time flash shuffles, more is revealed to make it interactive.
So when I came up with the idea for Time Flash, I was in Barcelona studying abroad and wanted to remember those great moments when I returned to the United States. But one of the first thoughts I had was how neat it would be to share an experience with my father when he was 21, and I'm 21. And, unfortunately, I don't think my father's changed much since he's 21, but I'm looking forward to sending that.
That's me on the right-hand side.
Look at that stud. So handsome. But I'm looking forward to sharing the time capsule that I made here today with my son when he is 21. So we'd like to thank you guys and open it up to questions.
We're here to answer any type of question, and we want everyone to do a time flash when you're in a Wi-Fi, when we have a little bit of Wi-Fi. I've been here for a few days. I'm Brazilian already, So are there any questions that perhaps we can answer?
Ó, pessoal, eu vou traduzir, então se quiser fazer pergunta em português é só me chamar. E assim, acho que é uma oportunidade muito legal de falar com esses caras. Como eu falei no começo, o Peter foi professor em Wharton School of Business durante 20 anos. E, enfim, o aplicativo vai crescer. É uma questão de aproveitar a oportunidade de ter esses dois caras aqui com a gente. Wharton School of Business. Se quiser falar inglês...
Como eles obteram aqueles dados das fotografias por ano, qual é a fonte das fotografias, quantas fotografias foram evoluindo, de onde eles extraíram os dados, e quando eles tiveram um insight de fazer o aplicativo para isso, com essa finalidade.
Okay, he's asking where and how did you get the information about the numbers of pictures taken? Can you hear me?
Yeah, just from technology, Google.
Okay.
I Googled all the data.
And
It was on an article on BuzzFeed.com.
and the other was, how did you had the idea to create Time Flash about the selfies?
So how I came up with the idea of Time Flash when I was in Barcelona, I was at the Pablo Picasso Museum. And that's when it truly hit me. And I was looking at a portrait of a woman, and I thought to myself how this painting really acted as a time capsule, where this woman from, a few decades ago, her beauty, her emotion was captured in this time capsule. And I thought that every individual should have that opportunity to capture a moment in time to be sent into the future. And of course, that's thinking long term. But for me, when I was, also, having a good time in Barcelona, it's a great city, I was thinking more in the short term, to remember some of my nights.
Here, André will make another question.
Daqui 50 anos, também eu vou poder abrir o meu Facebook e ver o passado lá. Então, que surpresa que o time flash tenha mais do que isso. Entendeu?
He's asking, in 50 years, I will be able to open my Facebook and see my pictures. Why should I use Time Flash?
Great question. Because we're a different medium. Facebook is great for Facebook. WhatsApp is great for WhatsApp. Pinterest is good for Pinterest. What we're doing is we're capturing specific moments that you want to share with someone else on a specific date. Right now with Facebook, that's not available. And the way that we design it in a digital gift wrapping to make it interactive, to make it fun. So we want to make the experience interactive, not just a one-way feeling. We want the feeling to be in both directions.
And I'd wish you good luck to scroll through all that content for 50 years on Facebook. I couldn't even scroll back 2 days.
Teu nome?
É Miguel. Eu queria saber se vai ter, você vai poder usar sua conta do Facebook para poder usar o aplicativo e se vai ter porte para o Windows Phone, que eu sou usuário do Windows Phone e nunca tem nada no Windows Phone.
Okay. Oh, two questions. His name is Miguel.
Hey, Miguel.
Yes. Okay, repeat the number one, please.
Se vai ter
Okay, I got it. He's asking if it will be connected to the Facebook, if they can create their user based on the Facebook account.
Yes, so right now you could register through Facebook.
And the question number two is where we will launch the Windows Phone version.
As of now, we do have plans to launch the Windows, version. We do not have a specific date on that. We wanted to start with the iPhone and Android.
Right now it's on the app and Android, and we're very thankful utilizing Facebook. Great company, great social media, and like I mentioned before, everybody can use various social medias for different reasons.
How does you guarantee that this picture will arrive in 30 years?
Another great question. In 1945, you could listen to a record on a 33 RPM, and then in the 1940s or 50s on a 45 RPM, and then ultimately you can listen on an 8-track in the 1970s, and then on a small cassette in the 1970s, and then on a CD in the 1980s. Same thing here. Everything is stored on the iCloud, so it's in a digital format. So that's why we know no matter what, it'll be delivered into the future. No matter what the delivery system is, the content stays the same. It's in a binary code.
It can be transferred from technology to technology.
And the puzzle doesn't already reveal the image?
No.
It's pretty obvious to me that was Rio de Janeiro in the picture.
So the picture only reveals a small percentage of what it actually is. So with a well-known photo like that, possibly, but at a party to be able to identify where you were, who you were with, very difficult.
What we did is we created a form of anticipation. We want that receiver. We want it to be like Christmas every day. During Christmas, you get a present and it's wrapped up in a box. On the box is gift wrapping. On the gift wrapping is a ribbon. Why? Because you want the receiver to have some form of anticipation. Any other questions? Yes, sir? Gui?
Hold on. Okay, I got it. He's asking, how can you give me security enough to guarantee delivery into the future, or that the people will not discover the time flash before, or if I can delete if I change my mind?
First, our engineers are amazing engineers. We have very good cybersecurity to protect the picture, number one. And number two is we are actually going to have some form of insurance to guarantee delivery of the ones that are most important to you. So let's say there's a lot of content. We have a mechanism that will guarantee by an outside company delivery of those specific emails no matter what happens to Time Flash. If Time Flash gets bought out, if Time Flash is not around, those specific Time Flashes will be delivered by an outside company.
And to answer your last question, you can delete a time flash that, let's say, you regret, or let's say, you are in a relationship and you end up getting out of that relationship and you want to delete that time capsule from opening. Unlike, other social media forums such as Snapchat, where you can't necessarily delete that content.
Which is very, very important when you have daughters. You want them to be able to delete something that they might not have wanted to send.
All right, one more question here.
Qual o valor da companhia no mercado hoje?
Só isso ou quer
Yeah.
perguntar mais? Daí, um pouco. Seria bom fazer uma pergunta mais.
É a
Talvez.
chance de eu saber se é bom investir ou não e se eles estão dispostos a adquirir novos sócios.
Okay, he's asking what's the value of the company. So, how much money have you raised it, and what are the next steps, the plan of growing, and how can Brazilians invest on it?
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
How Brazilians can invest on it, invest
Okay.
money on it.
Fantastic. I'll answer the last question first. The way that you can invest is downloading, because then you all become part of its future. So the number one thing is to download the app, and then you become part of the future, number one. Number two is we've raised over $3 million. We've raised for the company, and the company's value is somewhere right now about $10 million and change. And we got investors from all over the world. We got investors from Brazil. We got investors from China, Japan, Europe, America. And we're very excited to have them as partners. But hopefully one day, maybe we'll be public, and then you'll be able to participate on an investment level. But investing is not just monetary. Investing is being part of something new. So right now, you could be part of something very, very new. No different if you would have been involved with Facebook in 2004 in the beginning, or Snapchat. Now you have the opportunity to be involved with Time Flash.
Hi, my name is Pedro. I would like to know how do you plan to monetize the How do you plan to monetize the application? What's your plans to monetize
Great.
in the short term or in the long term?
Fantastic. First of all, the questions here are really good questions. We have two ways of monetizing. Can everybody hear me okay? We have two very unique ways of monetizing. First is the traditional way, the C2C. C2C model of just getting traffic. Snapchat has a value of $5 billion because of their traffic. Great app. Amazing app. Time Flash has already signed 3 agreements with corporations that licensed our technology to utilize for their customers to deliver something into the future. So we have formed joint ventures around the world. America, hopefully we'll get a couple here in Brazil while we're here, that different forms of company can utilize Time Flash specifically in ways that they want to connect to their customers. We have 2 different revenue sources, and we hope to generate revenues in our first year.
All right, here, one more question. Was this question, so there's no reason to ask again. Who more? You.
Last question?
Hello, nice application.
Thank you.
I'd like to know if the whole picture is puzzled or just a portion of it, and can I choose any of it?
So it's a portion of the photo that's shown, and you can't choose the portion. It's the algorithm that selects which part of the image you get to see.
Okay. Because like he said earlier, it was pretty obvious that it was the Pão de Açúcar, and I could choose probably a place that didn't make it so obvious for any kind of picture I like. I think that would be a nice addition.
Yeah, absolutely. So our engineers are updating the algorithm every single day, because you should have seen it when we first launched, when we had the beta, and we select different portions of the image to make it less revealing, as you said. Every single day it's being updated.
Cool, thanks.
And in 30 days, we'll have another iteration, and another 30 days. So we already have the next generation coming out shortly after this.
And it's thanks to, you know, feedback like that we can, you know, continue to improve the product.
So we appreciate the feedback. Any other questions?
Mais alguma pergunta?
Uno más.
Se eu posso tirar a primeira selfie para postar no aplicativo no dia do lançamento com eles, porque essa foto vai ter valor colocativo para o aplicativo estourar, ficar muito famoso, eu vou ter que usar a primeira foto com eles.
No, he's asking to take a picture with you because if you became famous, he will have this picture with the new Zuckerberg.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Come on stage. Come up.
And I want to just thank everyone. I've had such a great time here at Campus Party. I'm glad to be part of Campus Party and have this special experience here.
Obrigado, gente. Se vocês quiserem fazer uma pergunta, a gente vai estar aqui do lado, vai conversar um pouquinho, tomar um café. E é isso. Valeu mesmo. Baixem o app, postem, compartilhem com a família, porque é aquele negócio, a vida não volta e aquilo que você pode falar agora, você nunca mais vai poder falar do mesmo jeito, no mesmo lugar.
Hey, Guy, can you give the book to those two people right there?
Which one?
The young lady and the young man.
Okay, can.
I think they're together.
Aí se dividem. Esse aqui então vai para você, que é
We want to thank all of you for your patience. Obrigado. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. And please send us a time flash of yourselves and your family. And we look forward to growing together. Thank you.